July 14th, 2019, Moscow, Russia. Police detained dozens of people at a rally. They are fighting for fair elections. Officials disqualified opposition candidates from a city election, saying they failed to collect enough genuine signatures to run. But what started as discontent about a local election has since turned into something much bigger. Tens of thousands joined in. August saw the biggest political protest Russia has seen in close to a decade. The police crackdowns have escalated, growing more violent. Those who wanted to run as the opposition have been arrested. But the protests represent much more than ballot blocking. These speak to what's happening throughout the country, starting with its leader. His name and face pop up at many of the rallies in the nation's capital. But the man himself is anywhere but the protests. During one July event, Vladimir Putin wasn't even on land. He was underwater to see a sunken submarine.
If he wanted to interfere with it, he would. He could look like the good Tsar. He could make a public statement, make them go back over those nominating papers, and lo and behold, find that they're okay. That would diffuse the whole thing. He hasn't done that. So clearly he backs the rather draconian methods that Moscow is using.
Putin has been in powerful political positions since 1999, and his rating as a leader is still up there at well over 60%, more than what many other world leaders can brag about. But Russia's trust in Putin has been slipping, and this may be because a younger generation is looking for change.
They've only known Putin in power, so there's a great deal of Putin fatigue. And 20 and early 30-year-olds see the possibility of Putin staying in power for at least another 5 years, according to his constitutional term. And they're seeing their most productive years of their life all taking place under one ruler, which they see as just something that shouldn't happen in a civilized country.
But some of the people out there pushing for change are getting pushed back. Police punched this 26-year-old woman in the stomach, an incident that had Russian celebrities take notice, including rapper Igor Creed, who posted about the arrest. And if history proves anything, the more authorities have tried to fight the people on the streets, the more angry they become. Protests like these are a pretty rare sight in Russia, but they look a lot like the protests that happened between 2011 and 2013, when police clashed with anti-Putin protesters who took to the streets alleging electoral fraud. Today, the people of Moscow are again on the streets for democracy.
A segment of the population got really angry about being treated like garbage by the ruling bureaucracy of the city. Even the scraps of democracy that they enjoyed were kind of snatched away from them in a rude sort of a way. But it's extremely significant because it points to the Achilles heel of the Putin regime and the mini Putin regime in Moscow, which is that they don't have democratic legitimacy.
Putin has had a tight grip on Russia for 2 decades, but what's brewing in the nation's capital could pose a challenge that could sink the Russian leader.